we're going to be covering Nilla versus Vesely. This is one of the games from the semi-finals. And the winner of this game, we're just going to show one match. The winner of this game will progress through to the finals. I believe it is a best of 3. And the winner of the kind of matchup as a whole will progress to the finals, but I'm only going to show one game of the best of 3, just so I can cover as many as possible. And then we're going to have the finals later on, casted on YouTube. I'm going to cast it on Twitch after the event, and then we'll get it on YouTube as well. So we've got Nilla on the left-hand side in red. He's playing the second Infantry Indian head. He's up against Vesely, who won his group in Steel Division League Season 6 Division 1, playing the 20th Panzer. So he had a bye through to the semi-finals. Nilla had to face off against Jack in the quarterfinals, but was successful. So who is going to be the victor between these two players and progress through to the finals? That's one of the questions we're going to try and answer. Let's head over to the decks. We've got Nilla on the left. He's playing 2nd Infantry Indian Head on balanced income. It's been a little bit of a while since 2nd Infantry Head were kind of in the meta. And I feel like I keep saying that, but I think the changes recently have really kind of changed things up. And we have seen a bit of a changing of the guard. 2nd Infantry Indian Head were incredibly strong when they first released, but then they got some big nerfs because I think, well, it's the story of Eugen DLCs all over, isn't it, really? Division comes out, second... what is it, the second or the first? No, Division comes out just like the first Free Forest fighting French infantry, totally broken, and then eventually it gets nerfed, and it's never seen again until a balance change that happens 6 to 9 months later, and then suddenly it's back into the meta. 2nd Infantry Indian Head all over. What's making 2nd Infantry Indian Head back? I'm not 100% sure, if I'm honest. I think the Hellcats are pretty good right now. The Sherman's got a lot more expensive, but these are 70-point Shermans, not... Wait, is that right? Are they normally I think they're normally 80 points, which is why I'm kind of like, 70 points looks like the wrong price. So yeah, maybe that's part of the reason as well. Not many M1 guns here for Nilla, to be fair. So he's going to be relying on his tanks and his M10 tank destroyers to do the job, and he's going to have a fair few tanks to get through. Bearing in mind that Vesely's playing the 20th Panzer, so we've got plenty of Panzer 4s on the way. Panzer 4H and Panzer 4G, I'm sure. Nilla opting to use the P47s and the P38Js. I think those P38Js are pretty devastating from what I remember of the 2nd Infantry Indian Head. The M3 off maps as well, 203mm off maps, they're going to be pretty strong. 92 units of infantry. Can Nilla hold out against the 20th Panzer? That's going to be the question. Let me find the deck on my screen. Yep, here we have it. So, Vesely's playing Maverick. He does have the Boy to Stalin. We did see Nilla, I believe, playing the 20th Panzer in the quarterfinals. So Nilla knows the division really well, but he opted to use very, light, lots of light units like the Panzer 3Ls, Panzer 4Gs, Panzer 4H, T-34s. He used the ZIS-3 guns. He used the M42 guns, captured Russian guns that the unit has access to. Whereas Vesely taking a different approach. He's using the Boy to Stalin. He's using the Pak 40s, more expensive units. Whereas Nilla opted for the much cheaper units. We're going to see the Ju-87 D5s as well. I don't think Nilla did take them in his deck. And we're going to see some early Flak 41 88mm, but they're very expensive, 160 points. So they come with those multi-a-month supply trucks. Which I think probably are going to be used to buff or resupply the Werfrahmen, which is also in A phase. I have the feeling that's the decision, but 160 points is very expensive. I'm kind of surprised he didn't just put those into B phase, take an extra 2 of them, get some more trucks, but then at the same time, he doesn't need 4. He doesn't need 4 supply trucks, and those supply trucks in A phase would also help fix up the Boy to Stalin if he gets in trouble. He's just going to have to save up for them. Right, that is the initial deck chat out of the way. Let's head into the game. Let's get things going. From what you understand, it's the rifles early that helps this back, but CQC is invaluable. Okay. Billy Marauder in the chat there on Twitch says it's the early rifles. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I am lacking a little bit of knowledge on the 2nd Infantry Indian Head. It's been a long while since I've seen the division. Let's recap. Nilla on the left-hand side in red, playing the 2nd Infantry Indian Head. Balanced income, pushing across the river in the centre. Looks like quite a few units going there. Vesely on the right-hand side in blue, playing the 20th Panzer on Maverick income. Gonna have to start strong, but not crossing the river early and not crossing in this position. Probably a good decision, though, because the Indian Heads do get access to those jeeps, and they are pretty fast. Not the ducks. The jeeps, they're all unloaded now though, so I can't actually show you. The Rangers, they're in the ducks as well. The jeeps are pretty fast anyway, take my word for it. So perhaps that's why Vasily didn't push across the river. Normally on the right hand side of this map, the blue player can push across and engage onto this flag early. Nilla's tried to counter that with the Ranger Marauders, and Vasily doesn't fall for it. Vesely does, though, opt to come into this heavy forest, or at least bring his Sturmpires in there and his Panzergrens in to cover the light flag, but Nilla not crossing the river early. This is usually a player on the left-hand side in the red would usually cross and go for this flag early. They always get there before the blue player can, so Nilla not going for it. He's deciding to conserve his units, balance versus Maverick, and I think that's the right decision, to be honest. Using the Rangers with those flamethrowers in the heavy forest to kind of delay any assault from Vesterly. Yeah, and I think he's going to set up a little bit more of a defense, maybe with like an AT gun or some more HMGs a bit further back. I feel like that's what he's going to do. Interesting how he's leaving these engineers in the transports, and I wonder, we'll have to try and keep our eyes on that, but I wonder if he's kind of having them here in case Vesterly pushed across in the south, but not quite unloading them so that he can reposition them if necessary. That could be the reason that they aren't unloaded yet. Or perhaps he's just saving himself some micro. Looks like he is moving forwards. Interesting that he's taking up such a heavy presence down here on the south, because he doesn't really have any AT down here. I'm really fascinated by this move down here. I feel like it's a little bit... I don't usually see a player coming this heavy down in this little area. So... yeah, I can't really say why Nilla's doing that. I mean, perhaps I understand the half tracks. Looks like he's trying to push flamethrowers across the river here. Perhaps with some recon. I think that'd be better to actually get a Ranger Marauder. I don't know whether he used his entire card of Ranger Marauders. Let me just try and quickly see how many he gets access to. He's got 6 in A phase, or even a bazooka. Why is he not doing that with like a Ranger Marauder? That's what I would ask. Because they actually have the recon optics. Look at that. Look at that. Both players doing the same move across the river in the south. So, Vesely has picked up a flag here, though. Pushed his Panzer Grenadiers across the river. He's got plenty of Panzer 3Ls and Panzer 4 F1s. I don't think Nilla used the Panzer 4 F1s. He is currently opposing the M8. He's got a Panzer 3L into a nice position covering the road, but he needs to push the rest of them across the river. And at the moment, Nilla doesn't have enough of a defense down south to deal with this. So can Vesely capitalise? 13-11 right now. 32 minutes. But we're only just into this game, and I am excited already. Oh, 220 mil off-map mortar on the way in. Vesely is going down south. He's going down south hard. That's what she said. Or is that's what he said? I don't know. Let's take up both avenues. It could be what either of them said. Let's not be sexist. Oh, I'm excited. After the Gonzo versus Neff match, in which it was a tough game to cast, I'm not going to lie. 36 minutes of of just tight micro from both players. We're seeing a very much more aggressive match here from Vesely. He's trying to catch Nilla napping, and right now he might well be doing that. Engineers going down in the transports, not what you want to see. Rangers engaging at close range. I'm going to try and keep my eyes on both of these. Engineers did drop off, but they could go down at long range to the Granta Grenadiers. I definitely think the Granta Grenadiers do have the advantage. Flamethrowers going down, Rangers going down to the Sturm Pioneers, and they are pushing forwards, but I don't think Vesely has quite enough right there. Needs to reinforce. How is Nilla going to deal with this aggression? I think all reinforcements going down south, but is it too late? Off-map coming in here, not exactly too much being placed down there, and this might be the reason Nilla's kept his basics down south. I think it's to avoid an early off-map, and actually big brain moves from Nilla because he is doing just that. There's that Ford GPA, 100 kilometers per hour on-road speed. I think that's the second fastest transport speed. It's the traction first, I think at like 110, maybe even 120 kilometers per hour. And I think the Jeep used to be 105. Maybe that got a slight nerf. I had a feeling that was 105. M8 taking shots at the Panzer III's, but the M8 should lose that, and I think Nilla needs to retreat that unit. Yes, he does. Hot on the micro, M4A1, the only real thing right down, down here in the south that can contest against Vesely's tanks early. None of his infantry have 80 equipment on it. But as long as Nilla keeps him kind of a little bit further back, he can oppose for now. Off-map down south does take away the engineer leader. There was another unit down here. I think it was Ranger Marauders gone down. Flamethrowers pinned down, but Vesely doesn't have the units to cross the bridge. Bit of a waste of that off-map. Where are his units? They are too far back. Too far back. Mistake from Vesely there. He could have just waited. He was impatient. I feel like he was impatient. M4A1 does go down there, though, to the Panzer III-L. Nice snipe. P-38J coming in here, trying to desperately help out Nilla. Going to drop against the Panzer IV. No, the Panzer III-L doesn't get the kill, though. I heard a bazooka shot there. At least that's what I thought I heard. But nowhere really close enough, so must have been wrong about that. Could have sworn it might have been... No, I could have sworn I heard a bazooka shot, but still. Must have been my ears deceiving me. Finally, the Sturm Pioneers, late to the party. Crossing the bridge, supported by the Panzer III-L. Apologies for the camera work, I'm very excited right now, I'm zooming in and out. Panzer III-L close range engagement with the M4A1. Vesely's got to be very careful, his tanks are pretty stressed out and some of his commands are a bit all over the shop here. Panzer III-L goes down, there is still another one in there though. They are trying to get close range but they're heavily stressed out. Another one goes down, Panzer IV goes down, another Panzer III goes down, and Vesely's losing all of his tanks down here on the southern side. Massive engagement there. Nilla picks up a big 4x kill. And Vesely decides to drop an off-map, and hopefully that will even the score. Perhaps it was this bazooka here that got the early shot off. Reinforcements coming down south. We do see an M1 gun coming in from Nilla. But now, I think those kills give Nilla some breathing room. 12-12. He's holding Vesely at bay. 8 minutes into this game. Vesely's got a lot here, though. Oh, Boy to Stalin. Boy to Stalin on the way in as well. Vesely needs to get that on top of this hill. And if he does that, he's going to be a massive presence that Nilla's going to have a tough time dealing with. Doesn't exactly have excessive long-range AT capability. You're going to need an M1 gun, kind of reasonably close range, or a bazooka. Or perhaps just a consistent bombing strike from the P-47s. Oh, the off-map does the job! The off-map does the job! It can... I mean, Vesely can't really capitalise again. He has nothing coming in behind these off-maps. I feel like this is a mistake for Vesely. The off-maps are doing the work. He's just missing the follow-up units. And it's a trick in Division 1 you cannot afford to fail at. This is a tense engagement here. Panzer III-L, M8, a couple of bazookas and Vernichtungs with the Panzer Schreck in close proximity. Another bazooka on the way in. Oh, this is tight. Will the Panzer III-L get the kill? Mate, reversing just in the nick of time. Bazooka on the way in. Oh, I feel like Vesely's going to lose his Panzer 3L here. Bazooka spotted up north. That's going to go down to the Panzer Grenadiers. That might give Vesely a false sense of security. Here's the Bazooka. Spotted. Vesely hot on the micro, though. Oof. Just avoids losing his big presence down in the southern side. Boy to Stalin. Starting to cross the bridge. And the further forward that gets, the worse it becomes for Nilla. I feel like the position of Vesely's AA is a little bit off here as well. It's a little bit too far back. I'd like it further south, but that position does afford him more, AA over the centre ground, but any kind of strikes down into the southern side, the Flak 37 can barely cover it. Looks like Bazooka's tried to reposition, didn't quite go down. Vesely finally crosses with Panzer Grenadiers. He's maintaining the pressure. We're into B phase. He has the income advantage now. Panzer 3L on the way in. He needs more troops down on this southern side. I think he's got to push this southern side. He's got to continue hard. He's got to continue fast. He needs to sustain this. Because right now I feel like Nilla is on the edge. Look at that Hellcat there. Look at that Hellcat there. One wrong move from that boy to Stalin and that Hellcat could get the kill. Actually, a really tasty position, covering reinforcements from the over the bridge. I think that's the reason why it's in there. But if that boy to Stalin reverses, that Hellcat could side shot it. And here comes the M3OP 203mm off map. This could save the day from Nilla. This is going to be tight. Vesely, ooh, Panzer 3L goes down to the close range Bazooka. P38J coming in here, trying to hit the Panzergrens in the forest. This could be a turnaround from Nilla. Marder bails out the Hellcat. Nice little kill there. Nothing really in the centre ground. Vesely could switch focus. I feel like for the moment he needs to continue this southern push. He doesn't know this off map's going to come down, but look at the units. They are being picked off. They are being picked off. Oh, he needs to get through, though. This off-map is going to put a big dent in his plans. A lot of these units are going to get pinned down. There's no real leader down here. Oh, no. There is a Pioneer Führer, but this M8 could rush in. Perhaps pick up some surrenders. Here comes the off-map. How is Vesely going to deal with it? Looks like we're going to get some probes into this centre ground as well. Boy to Stalin opposing the Hellcat at long range. I believe that Hellcat can still use that APCR. Yeah, 2,000 meters, so there's no guarantee this Boy to Stalin survives. Oh, gun jam! That's enough. That is enough. And I feel like the Hellcat might have really helped Nilla out, might have saved the day for him. I mean, it's hard to say which way this is going to swing down south, but the gun jam onto the Boy to Stalin really hurts Vesely right now. He's finally noticed, going to back away that Boy to Stalin. Here comes the Flak 41 that will be able to fix it up as long as Vesely gets it out alive. So, not necessarily seen the back of that Boiter. Is that what you say? The back of Stalin? We have not seen the back of Stalin in this matchup. The Russians on here, but Stalin is not out of it yet. Look at this Marder 1. Really nice positioning. Vesely's pushing that centre bridge. Bazooka takes an initial shot. I don't think he's going to get more than one, but does get the kill. Panzer T-34 is pushing in unopposed right now, but Hellcats, I mean, racing forwards with the pace of 1,000 horses. Probably not quite true. I am being very liberal with the truth. Pretty sure they're not 1,000 horsepower vehicles. But it sounded good. It sounded good, I'm sure. Another off-map down south. Vesely's almost got control of the southern position. He does still need some reinforcements. Look at this M3OP. Has got through the back. M1 gun, I think, going to be the only thing left to really... And the Boy to Stalin stopped. I feel like Vesely started to reverse that, but it's just stopped. Marder 1's trying to oppose that Hellcat, and if the Hellcat gets through the Marder 1, it might be able to... Well, he's got a lot of targets to deal with. He does go down there. Off map into the centre from Nilla. Remember, he does have both of those off-map vehicles. I think this is the fourth and final off-map from Nilla. I think he's used both of his off-map vehicles, and I think that's the last one. Model 1 being chased down by the Rangers. I don't think they're actually going to get any kind of kill here. Maybe they will. Who knows? I mean, it's no... They can... I mean, this is an open-top vehicle. Nilla! Is he going to get... He does get it! He does get the kill on the Model 1. Man. Vesely, though, 16-8. 16-8. He hasn't rested on his laurels. Although the Flampanzer are being taken down by the Ranger Marauders, they've been there from the very start of the game, and that 16-8 quickly diminishes. Back to a 15-9. 9 minutes left. Can Nilla survive? 5 minutes of B phase, 5 minutes of C phase, where Nilla's going to have that income advantage. But is it going to be enough? Hellcat's on the top of the ridge. They can use that 2,000 meter range pretty effectively up there. And Vesely doesn't really have, you know, a secure foothold. The M3OP is actually, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, Nilla's just going to rush it through, I think. Destroyed by his own off-map. Destroyed by his own off-map. Didn't quite see what the BF-109 G2 BR-21 was striking against. Hellcat goes down in the center to the Pack 40 on the ridge. Voyager Stalin's still not fixed up. Now he's reversing. Finally, Vesely might get this back into action. 59. These both plays I feel like are in this. This could go either way. PE3 coming down south, trying to hit the Pioneer Fuhrer. I think it backed away just in the nick of time. Like I say, the AA not quite in a close enough position to prevent strikes onto this southern hill. But for now, Vesely is okay. I think he does need some reinforcements. But I think he's okay. As long as his Panther 3L, his T-34 survive, and there's no bazookas that come in here, I think they can help out his infantry enough for him to survive. Up to the centre northern position, and again, T-34 just needs to come close range with the Rangers. There is a Ranger Marauder, though. Marauding behind enemy lines right now. I guess actually the Panzergrenzer are the ones kind of behind, sort of pushing through. The Marauders have just sat there, waiting in ambush. The Panzer IV F1s might be their targets. Not firing. Ooh, shot from the Hellcat. One of them goes down. Bazooka takes out the other one, but the Hellcat's in trouble. Ooh, kind of surprised Vesely backed off there. I think I would have taken that engagement. If your Panzer IV-H can destroy that Hellcat, I think that's a trade I would take, personally. Instead, we have a Panzer Vernichtons on the way, though. The Range Marauders did go down, and actually the Panzer Vernichtons, loading early. Doesn't want to lose it in the transport. Vesely making moves. Nilla holding Vesely right now to a 14-10. Bazooka did come into the southern position. And the Rhinos will be able to stand up at close range to the T-34. So Nilla, I think, is going to be able to hold off this southern side. The Voyager Stalin's still not fixed up. Yeah, this Rhino is going to easily outmatch the T-34s. The Hellcat goes down, but the Rhino's going to survive. I am fully confident right now that this Rhino is not going to be destroyed. Especially with a bazooka just pushing in here. No need to risk the Rhino. Bazooka heading in. He's going to clear up that T-34. And Nilla has the southern side now. Unless these reinforcements get in there. Now, it's too long. It's too long. It's too long. Those reinforcements aren't going to do the job. 251 gets taken out by the M1 gun. 59 for Vesely. That's going to be lost. Another 251 is trying to take that flag. Vesely's just trying to pour on the 15-9s, but if he's not careful, he's going to kind of out-trade himself in a negative way. I feel like the southern hill is lost. It's going to be a struggle holding on to that hill. Does he drop back? Does he drop back? Because if he pours more and more units in, I think these reinforcements need to go up north now. He needs to drop back. He needs to set up a defensive line. And the reinforcements need to go north. Flanpanzer being used pretty effectively. Just surrender a few units there. And are we going to see another Flanpanzer kill onto the rifles late? Really love the use of this Flanpanzer. Don't see him very often on the German side. Wesley using this really well to pick up some surrenders. We do have an engineer leader in here preventing surrenders right now. But 251/16, it's going to destroy that engineer leader. Oh, but does go down and no surrenders. I think Wesley's slightly unfortunate there. He was in his own territory. But the Vernichtungen, are they going to get the kill? Are they just out of range? Aligning on the Panzerschreck. Pinned down before they can get that Hellcat kill. And Nilla gets fortunate twice over, I feel like. Wesley still 15-9, 5 minutes left on the clock. He is pouring in resources. And perhaps, if these Panzer Grenadiers can get the kill on the Rhino, nothing else behind it. So, my observations earlier, I think, perhaps were incorrect. But these Panzer Grenadiers need to get that Rhino kill, because otherwise the Rhino's just going to sit there and decimate their fellow brethren. Those Panzer Grenadiers with those Panzerfaust need to get into the action. Without them, ooh, and the P-38J. 454 kilograms. Devastating the infantry on the ground. And another one's going to head in here, and I don't think the AA is enough to stop these bombing strikes. No, it just got the strikes off. Ooh, Nilla could get some massive surrenders here. Yeah, he's going to get them. Big turnaround in the centre. Takes a lot of pressure off this centre position. The point of Stalin has been fixed up. It's fixed up. It's looking sharp. But it's moving into position where there's a waiting range of marauders. And Wesley's not going to enjoy that. Ooh, up on the northern side, a lot of positions have been retaken by Nilla, and it's 13-11 to Westerly. 4 minutes left. He can definitely do it. Ooh, he can definitely do it. But I see a boy to Stalin about to go down. He's even turning its side armour. Nilla just needs to see it. How can he not see it right now? Here he sees it. The Rage Marauders moving forwards, and we're about to see a Stalin get decimated. A flaming Hulk. That's all that's left. Panzer 38J moving up to the northern side. I didn't quite see what that dropped on. We might see an explosion, we might not. Might have dropped earlier. And that's like, it's really tight here. It is really tight. These two are currently Wesley's flags, but this is so tight. I feel like it's won and lost here right now. This is the position it's won and lost right now. Depending on, as long as Wesley can hold Nilla back in the south from a counter push, I feel like, who knows? Who knows? This is close. Not the IS-2, no. The Marauders did their job. Looks like Tom Hanks did enough to hold back the Stalin. It was literally Tom Hanks on the bridge with the pistol. Maybe not quite the pistol. But yeah, the Ranger Marauders taking down Stalin. Can the Panzer Grenadiers return the favour with the kill onto the M4A1 Rhino? I feel like if this Rhino goes down, Wesley can hold this flag. They are... Here he comes, aligning. Are we going to see it? No! No, we aren't going to see it. The Rhino survives another day, and how many times has that Rhino been seconds from disaster? 15-9 though, still to Wesley. 3 minutes left on the clock, and the northern side is looking pretty weak. The Panzer 3N goes down though. I mean, this is so close. Rifles coming into the centre. The Hellcat's gone down, but there's not exactly a massive presence here from Wesley. So a couple of those P-38J strikes, and Nilla can definitely get this flag back, but he's got to find several flags. 16-8. to Vesely. 3 minutes left on the clock. This is one of the tightest matches in Steel Division League Season 6 so far. Vesely's going to push across the river with the 250/5 off-map vehicle. He's desperately trying to get that flag, but that range of Marauders is still there, and that one is going to destroy that off-map as soon as it gets close. BF109 G2 BR21 trying to strike down on the bazooka, does get the kill. It's going to be M4A1 Rhino versus Panzer 4G at close range, and we have the Ju-87 D5 to come in here. This might be game over for Nilla in the south. This is a massive strike. Here it comes. The Rhino goes down. That hands Vesely the southern flag, and he's definitely got enough to hold it. That flag is not going back to Nilla. 17-7 to Vesely. 2 minutes left on the clock, and this is going to be really tight for Nilla to make his way back into this game. I'm not sure it's quite possible, but he could take this flag here, 16-8. He could take the flag up there, 15-9 in this one as well, 14-10. That would give him 2 minutes, but how is he going to push back for the 12-12? I don't feel like he's going to hold these two flags on the south, so he's going to have to like counter push across the river. It's going to be incredibly hard with just 1 minute 39 left on the clock, but he does take back this flag down here. The engineers push forwards, do take another flag, but I think he's going to have to unload something here. Is this over? 3 minutes left on the clock. Yeah, he needs to leave an engineer there, because otherwise... Oh, and the Rhino going back there could get sniped by the Panzervernichtungstungs. Engineers trying to push across the flag, trying to take this, push across the river and take flags, but the Panzer 4G is going to run into them, and they are going to go down. Those engineers disappear in the moment. 1 minute 10 left on the clock. Ooh, and down goes another engineers. I feel like that's game over for Nilla. Losing those engineers has definitely hurt him. Ooh, more surrenders, and it's all going Vesely's way in the last 2 minutes of this game. 1 minute left on the clock. I don't see Nilla coming back now. Vesely has got the victory. Nilla calls it quits, but yeah, less than a minute left on the clock. It wasn't going to be long left until Vesely does get that victory. 26 minutes, 48 seconds. What a game between those two players. And wow, 26 minutes, 48 seconds. 3,000 kills to 2,495 losses. Vesely shows his strength, shows the reason that he was top of his group and had that bye through to the semi-finals. So, let's have a quick look at the kills for Vesely. Panzer 3L starting things off with the Ranger kill. Let's try and see as many as we like. No, wait, I'm on the kills for Nilla. I'm on the wrong page here. I'm on the wrong page. Here we go. This is Vesely's kills. Panzer 4 F1, starting off early with the M8 kill. Plenty of Panzer 4s early on into this game. I didn't notice that from Vesely, whereas when Nilla played the 20th Panzer, I don't recall him using the Panzer 4s. He definitely went with more of the lighter AT guns rather than Panzer 4s in the support tab. At least that's what I recall. Model 1s, picking off a few Hellcats there. The Model 1s definitely did a good job against those Hellcats. Clearly a counter from the looks of it. Mostly one-to-one trades, but as a Maverick versus balanced player, to be trading one-for-one isn't the end of the world, as long as you get that flag control. That's what matters more as a Maverick versus balanced player, and that's what Vesely managed to achieve. So not out and out amazing kill list. Panzergren here in the south definitely did really well, but yeah, not out and out amazing kill list. I think actually Nilla had kind of the better kill list, which makes sense given that he was a balanced player. Even though he traded negative, you've got to remember that actually Vesely had a lot more income by the time that the game ended. So in terms of trades, it was probably more like 1-for-1. Anything else we can pick out? The P-38Js were pretty devastating. Ranger Marauders picked up plenty of Flampanzer kills. M8 Hellcat did pick up a few kills, although lots of them died to the Marauders as well. Yeah, and the Ranger Marauder, Chung, I think he'd come over from the nationalist Chinese, maybe. I don't know. Chung, is that an American name? I don't believe Chung's an American name. Maybe am I being a bit off here? But yeah, he gets the boy to Stalin and the off-map kill. Anyway, give that guy a medal, no matter where he comes from. He's serving the Americans proudly and gets the kill. 26 minutes, 48 seconds. Hopefully you enjoyed that cast. More to see from Vesely versus Nilla.